Well, welcome to NeedyMeds. As you can see, we are in studio right now with Dr. Rich Sagall, and we are talking about NeedyMeds and the patient assistance that it offers, that the organization offers to people without any cost. It's really important to understand that there is no cost. Now, we know that healthcare is going up and up and up. Medical care is going up and up and up. You now provide copay cards. What is a copay card?
We provide information on what we call copay programs. These are programs that help people who have insurance but are on a medication which has a large copayment and they can't afford it. Many of the drugs, the specialty drugs, the drugs for very rare diseases, the copay can be hundreds of dollars a month, and that can be a real burden. So there are programs that will help people who can't afford that.
How do you get one of these cards? How do you go about that?
Well, what you want to do is go to our website, and you want to go to the Diagnosis-Based Assistance Program, and then you can look them up there. So either by diagnosis or by drug. So if there is a copay card for a drug, it would be listed under the brand name drug section. So it's either way, depending, because some of the programs are drug specific, others are diagnosis specific.
How much is the cost of a drug? How much of an issue is this when a doctor is prescribing a drug? I personally, when a doctor says, I'm going to give you XYZ, I always ask for the generic. And usually they say, hey, that's fine.
Most of these drugs, there is no generic. They may be the biologicals, which are very expensive to make, or drugs for rare diseases, etc. So there would not be a generic equivalent for these.
And who can use the copay cards?
Generally, there are certain income insurance guidelines, but the copay cards are for people who have health insurance with a big copayment or deductible. So that's different than most of the other information we have, because that is generally for people who don't have insurance, but these are for people who do have insurance.
So something like, I can remember my mother being given a cholesterol-lowering drug, and the price was several $100s a month, and at the time, the doctor said, that's silly, I'm going to change her medication. And by the way, the generic lowered her cholesterol a little bit better than the name brand. My point is that it's available for people like my mom who had insurance.
It would be. It's not for, to be honest, it's not for the common diagnoses. It's for the more rare diagnoses and much more expensive medications. So it varies, but that brings up a good point, Mark, which is you always want to check on the website, because you never can tell what you're going to find. There's all sorts of information there on many, many different types of programs, and you have to look. And you have to come back and look, because the programs are always changing.
And the website is always being updated. Dr. Sagall, thank you very much. If you want information on copay cards or any kind of healthcare assistance, we encourage you to visit us at NeedyMeds.org. It's very simple, NeedyMeds.org. Or give our helpline a call, and somebody will be glad to talk you through whatever you need. I'm Mark Alyn, again for Dr. Rich Sagall. We'll see you on the next edition of NeedyMeds.